In this video, I'm going to show you how to create and modify charts. Now, charts are drawings that show mathematical information with lines, shapes, and colors. Charts are also known as graphs. They're used to compare amounts of things or other numbers. They're useful because they can be easier to understand than numbers and words alone. I've opened up the book review Harry Potter file, and I'm going to scroll to the end where on the last page I have some extras. I have Harry Potter book sales data, Harry Potter movie data, and I've also got the bloodline hierarchy. For my chart, I'm going to use the Harry Potter book sales data. To build a chart, the first thing you want to do is put your cursor where you want the chart to be. So I clicked after the last thing typed in this document. Then you'd go to your Insert tab and click Chart. Now that opens up the Insert Chart window. On the left-hand side, I have all different categories of charts. And as I click them, subcategories show up on the right-hand side of the screen. And if I choose one, a little picture shows up to show me what that would look like. I'm going to use a column chart. And for my subtype, I'm going to use the 3D clustered column. So I click on it and then hit OK. Now in a second, a couple of things happen. I get my chart. I get a spreadsheet that contains default data. Now the data in this spreadsheet is what my chart's based on. So when I change the data in the spreadsheet, the chart's going to change. The other thing I got were my contextual tabs. I have chart design and format. We'll use those a little later. Right now, what I want to do is enter the data for my chart into the spreadsheet. So I'm just going to highlight all this default data and hit delete on my keyboard. And notice when I did that, my chart disappeared. Now in column A, I'm going to put the names of the Harry Potter books. I'm going to abbreviate them so that I don't waste a lot of time typing them out. So I'll do Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows. Okay, so I've entered my book names. Now I'm just going to double click on the line that separates columns A and B so that I can see all my data in column A. And let's see, for my actual data, I will go with awards 1. So the Sorcerer's Stone won 8, Chamber of Secrets won 5, Prisoner of Azkaban 3, Goblet of Fire 1, Order of the Phoenix 1, Half-Blood Prince 1, and Deathly Hallows 0. Okay, so as I entered that data, my chart started to populate. Once all my data is entered, I can close this spreadsheet because the only purpose it serves is to enter the data for my chart. So I'm going to click that X and close it. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit more so we can see the chart. Now I'm just going to make it a little smaller this way and a little wider this way. And it looks like I'm missing some of my data. So I need to edit my data. So I'm going to click on my chart. And from my chart design tab, I've got this edit data button, which opens up my spreadsheet again. And here's my problem. Okay, only up to row 5 is selected. So I've just got to grab this little selection tool and drag it down through row 8. And as I did that, my data updated. So I'm just going to close that window again and go back to my chart. Okay, so we built the chart. Now we just need to make it more readable. Okay, if we look at this chart, we don't know what it is, right? So it needs a title. So I'm going to click where it says chart title, and this is going to be Harry Potter Book Awards. Okay, and I notice I have this legend down here that doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's not telling me anything, so I don't need it. So in order to interact with chart elements, you work from your chart design tab, and your add chart element button is over here on the left. And then you have all these different parts of a chart that you can work with. So I'm going to choose legend, and I'm going to choose none because this legend didn't make sense for me. Some other things I might want to do to my chart to make it more readable, I might want to add data labels to each data point so I don't have to strain my eyes and try and figure out exactly what number each data point stands for. So I could do that by clicking the Add Chart Element drop arrow and going to Data Labels. I could do a data call out, but I don't like those. They're messy. They give me more data than I need. So what I like to do is go to More Data Label Options. And that opens up this window on the left, right. And then I just uncheck Category Name, and I just leave the value. That to me looks more readable. And of course, I can change my colors. I can do a layout. All the different layouts include different elements to it, so you just got to go through them and find one you like. It's just a point and click. Chart styles, they're all named. Okay, if you find one you like, point and click. Okay, and we've already seen the Edit Data button. That opens up my spreadsheet again. If I need to change some of the data, I can change it, and it'll be reflected in my chart automatically. And change chart type. If you click on that, you go back to the window that we were in when we originally selected our column chart. You have to be careful with change chart type because Word will let you change it to whatever you want, but not all charts accurately represent all data. You have to know which data type is best represented for your chart. So in this case, a column and a bar chart are interchangeable. The only difference between these two charts is that a column displays the data points vertically and a bar displays them horizontally. So I'm going to change this to a bar, and for my subtype, I'm going to go with the 3D clustered bar. And there's my change. Let's look at the Format tab. On the Format tab, you need to pay attention to what's selected in your chart. So the Design tab applies changes to the whole chart. Okay, but the Format tab pays attention to what's selected. So if my title's selected, then whatever formatting I apply is going to be applied to the title. Now, the way you select different parts of your chart is to hover around the chart, and a little tag shows up that tells you which part is being activated. So if I click right now, I activate the chart area. If I hover over here and I click, I'm activating the vertical category axis. Now that can be kind of a pain in the neck if you're not sure what all the parts are. So I like to work from the current selection area. And if you click this drop arrow, all the parts of your chart are listed and you can choose the one you want to work with. So I'm going to go with the floor. I'm going to make it black, and there it is. And then I'm going to choose my next part. I'll do the back wall. And then the shape style I'm going to apply will be this gray. And I'll also do my chart area, which is the whole background of the chart. And I'll make it this light green. Now, if you select a part of the chart that has words, like right now I'm going to do my chart title, then I can apply word art styles and I could modify them as I would any word art. And that's about it with charts.